Hi Leo, welcome back to my channel, Karma Fox. I am doing your weekly reading. I hope everybody's well. I do want to take a quick second just to remind you that this is a general reading. It may not resonate with every Leo out there. So guys, take what resonates for you and leave the rest for someone else. Keep in mind the energies may reverse. So if it is resonating, Leo, just get in where you fit in, but don't force yourself into a reading that's not for you. Spirit, can I have the energy of the sign of Leo? Leo. All right, Leo, you are starting out with the Ace of Cups reversed. You have the Ten of Wands in the reverse and the Queen of Swords. Ooh, you're guarded. It looks like something here may have ended, something with regard to love. I do see with the Ten of Wands in the reverse, there were a lot of problems there. You were feeling pretty bound. And I do feel like you are resolving those issues, resolving those problems. It looks like you're kind of getting hit by things from left and right, but you're resolving them. You're coming out of that. It is leaving you feeling very drained, and there is a need for you to pour love into yourself right now. I do see with you taking on this Queen of Swords energy, I do see you being very guarded, but with reason. You know, there's the Queen of Swords is known as the divorce queen, and she doesn't get guarded for no good reason. So there's been things, some of it looks like it might be cyclical, that has caused you to kind of take on this persona. And I feel like it's pain, but a pain that you have turned around. You have used that pain to create these boundaries for yourself. So and you're being very clear and honest about things too. So I like that. Let me see who's in your energy. Show me who is in Leo's energy. Show me who is in Leo's energy. All right, so the person in your energy, we have the Chariot. You could be dealing with a Cancer sign. We have the Magician in the reverse, sign of Gemini. And we have the Knave of Pentacles in the reverse. So this person that's in your energy, I feel like for some of you, they may live at a distance, but I feel like if they do, this person's moving towards you rather quickly. They're trying to manifest something here, but feeling like they just can't quite get there. Like, you know, it could have to do with finances or money, or it might have to do with, you know, trying to figure something out with regard to resolving problems with you. They just feel like, I feel like this person feels they can't figure you out. And I also feel like they may feel like they don't have anything to really offer you, but they don't want to say that to you. This person can be a little manipulative, so be careful with that. But let me see the energy between Leo and this person. Show me the energy between Leo and this person. Justice. Yeah, balance is coming in here. If this is somebody you had an ending with, things are balancing out and you're going to receive your justice. But it looks like it's coming, the justice is coming through because this person is moving towards you in order to bring truth, clarity, and justice. And you may not even see them coming. Let me see what's affecting this connection. Show me what's affecting this connection. The Five of Swords. Yeah, so I feel like whatever ended here, it ended because there was a very difficult conflict between you and this person. I feel like that's what caused you to put these boundaries up. I do feel like, you know, the two of you kind of squared off with one another, and it looks like it got rather ugly, which I have to be honest with you, neither of you wanted that, but egos might have gotten involved here. So let me see the outcome. Be really careful though, Leo, because this person, I've got the Five of Swords here, which is a manipulator card, with the Magician reverse, which is also a manipulator card. So be careful that this person's not trying to manipulate you when they come towards you. Knight of Wands. Yeah, so there's going to be some communication here. There's definitely this person who wasn't communicating, wasn't offering you much of anything, is now going to be communicating. But again, the Knight of Wands they come in quick, but they also leave just as quick. So I feel like this person is definitely coming towards you. I would be careful about the manipulation, all right? Bottom of the deck is the Three of Wands. That's underlying energy, and that indicates an energy of waiting, particularly waiting for communication of some sort. I feel like you're keeping yourself busy. You're, working on your own issues, resolving problems. But you do need to pour that love into yourself, but I feel like you're waiting. There's a waiting energy, but you're keeping yourself busy as you're waiting. So let me see. I'm going to clarify this. Why is the Ace of Cups in reverse? All right, we have Judgment reverse, and we have the Six of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, you may feel like you made a poor judgment call even being involved with this person, but I do feel like you haven't moved on. There's a sense here of wanting justice, wanting truth, wanting balance to come back in. And it seems like if it's coming very slow, but it is coming because justice is in the upright. So I feel like you're feeling a little bit stuck since the ending of this connection. You're feeling very drained. You're questioning your judgment with regard to this person. Let me see the Ten of Wands. Show me the Ten of Wands reversed. You might be feeling like there's no way this is ever going to come back together. All right, so we have the Page of Swords reversed. We have the Three of Coins reversed. Yeah, so the problem specifically that you are basically trying to work out yourself has to do with a lack of stability. There could be some financial issues because I do see you working pretty hard. So there's something to do with not feeling stable. There's a lack of stability here, and you don't quite know how to bring that stability back in, how to resolve those problems. You'd like for this cycle where there's all this conflict with this person, you'd like to work all of that out. But again, I don't feel like you know how to go about doing that. Because there seems to be a lack of communication, and there seems to be, or at least truthful communication. And it also feels like you feel that you can't say certain things, that you can't do certain things, which is causing you to feel very unstable here. So let me see this Queen of Swords. Show me the Queen of Swords for Leo. Yeah, Queen of Wands reversed and the Four of Cups reversed. You feel like this person was disrespectful to you. That's why your boundaries are so high. That's why you're not taking any action towards them. In fact, it's actually causing you to feel less excited about the thought of this relationship ever coming back together. I don't feel like you've fully given up on it, but you're kind of looking at it and you're saying, yeah, you know what? I don't want to be treated this way. I don't want to be treated with disrespect. That being said, you're still thinking about this person. You've learned a lot from the past, and that's what's caused you to put your guard up, to be very, you're not making your decisions with your heart any longer. It's more head over heart decisions. And one of those decisions is, I'm not moving towards you. You know, you're going to have to recognize what it was that I was offering you here. And, because in the past you have not. I gave you my heart. I gave you love. And all you did was drain me instead of, giving back in a balanced way. So I feel like a lot of you, you're not totally detached from this connection. You haven't moved away from this person totally, but you're kind of, at this point, you're starting to say, look, I don't know if this is even for me anymore. Not with the way you're treating me. So let's look at their energy. Where is the Chariot? Why is it here? Why is the Chariot here? Page of Pentacles reversed. This person's very insecure. They had that card twice. And then we have the Ten of Cups. So they're moving towards you, but they're very insecure about it. They're moving towards you because they see you as happiness. This person literally daydreams about you. They can see the two of you, you know, having a family, having children if you're of that age. This is somebody who, you know, you haven't been talking with. They don't feel like they have anything to offer you, but they're moving towards you at this point. There's a lot of insecurity here, and that makes sense. That's where this manipulation is coming from. Let's look at that. Why is the Magician in reverse? Because this person doesn't feel like they have all the tools necessary to actually manifest this. They love you. Two of Cups, Gemini energy. Very strong. And the Devil in reverse. So this could have, there could have been some toxic energy here that caused this connection not to fully manifest. It may have also caused the conflict between the two of you. I will say that this person, though, they're going to reach out to you. They've been holding back from that. They're going to reach out to you, and they have been working on themselves. So I do feel like when they come towards you, they are starting to recognize that maybe things didn't work out, things didn't manifest. Maybe there were a lot of problems because of their toxic energy here. And that toxic energy is actually stemming from feelings of inadequacy, feelings of, you know, being insecure. So it's not stemming from because they do love you. They do. Let me see why the Knave of Pentacles is in reverse. Why is the Knave of Pentacles in reverse for the person in Leo's energy? Okay, so the Three of Wands reversed. Interesting, because you have the Three of Wands in the upright in your underlying energy, the Tower, and then the Strength card. Woo! So what's going to make this person move towards you? Because they've been in this waiting energy, waiting to move towards you. They're going to have a Tower moment. They're going to have this Tower moment where, you know, they're going to realize that they have to reach out to you. They have to come to you, and not in any kind of toxic energy either. Yeah, they're definitely, there's a Tower moment that's coming for this person. Wow. And that's when that waiting energy is over. Yeah. They know that the wait has caused, it is partially causing the Tower moment. Wow. So this person is working on themselves, and I do feel like they're learning some pretty difficult lessons here. You could be dealing with a Capricorn or another Leo, Scorpios here. Let me see why Justice is here. Show me the energy between Leo and this person. All right, so we have the Ace of Pentacles and we have the Knight of Cups reversed. So the current energy between the two of you, you want things to balance out. You want to have a new beginning, but only if it's stable. Only if it's a, you know, grounded energy. So in the meantime, I feel like you've been kind of just, you know, putting up these walls. You've been more or less working at your finances, your money, keeping to yourself. And I do feel like you just don't know if this is ever going to manifest in a stable manner. Why? Well, because this person has been holding back. They do have feelings for you. They do want to talk to you. They literally feel like the two of you could be so happy together, but they've been holding back. They've been holding back, and it's their own insecurities that's causing that. So when they do come forward, at least initially, they're going to try to come forward like forcefully, and that might appear to that they don't have the feelings, but they do. Why is the Five of Swords here? Page of Cups, the Fool in reverse. Yeah, that's that fear. That's fear. So there's fear, there's insecurity, and you're over here going, what? What? What do you want? Because I feel like you're just kind of in your own lane, and you feel like this person owes you an apology for the way that they've acted here, especially with this conflict that occurred, because something got really nasty between the two of you. So you're basically saying, you know, look, this ended very badly. I'm willing to work this out with you, but you owe me an apology for the way you have treated me in the past. Are you willing to do that? Because if you're not, there's not any kind of grounded energy here. And you really don't know if they're ever going to come forward with an apology. Now, in their energy, they are going to reach out. They are, but this person tends to be a bit manipulative. And that may be what caused this big fight to begin with. So it stems again from fear. It stems from them being afraid to take a risk, being afraid to show their emotions, feeling inadequate. Because they literally see you as a soulmate. They see you as somebody they could have a happy family with. But they're holding back. They're holding back. Because they know they can't approach you in that toxic energy anymore. You've put those boundaries up. Let me see your outcome. Show me the outcome. Kind of excited to see what's going to happen. Show me the outcome for Leo. All right. King of Cups reversed. Temperance. And the Four of Cups reversed. So there is going to be communication, and it is going to come from this person's side. I do feel like they're going to reach out, but the problem is even though they are working on themselves, they're still in this manipulative energy. They're still in fear. They're still in this energy of feeling inadequate, like they don't have anything to offer. And so you're both kind of guarded with one another. You both love each other. That's the thing. You both love each other, but neither of you are like expressing those feelings and emotions. You, because you're very guarded because of past, things that have happened, and, feeling like this person needs to apologize, needs to come forward in a stable manner. So you're holding back emotionally. They're holding back emotionally because of their fears. And what's going to happen is you are becoming a tower moment for this person. You really literally are, where they're going to have to either put up or shut up, basically. I feel like you've done a lot of healing. I feel like you're deeply spiritual here. And I feel like anything that you do is going to be done in a healing manner. I don't see you being bitter or angry in any manner. But I feel like you're deeply connected. And I feel like you actually feel like you and this person were spiritually led together. But unfortunately, Leo, you ran into somebody who had a lot of toxic behaviors. Now, are they addressing those? They are, but it's slow in coming. So I do feel like you have a very healing energy here for this person, but they're fixing to have a come to Jesus meeting with themselves, because they're going to be held accountable. And I like that. I like that you're holding them accountable, but in a healing manner, which is really good. And even though you have those feelings and love for them, you're not coming in and, giving them all the attention, all the love anymore. You're basically saying, yes, we can talk, but, there's boundaries in place. So that's really good energy. It's very healing for you. And it's also going to cause a tower moment for them. They're going to get the clarity that they need here. They're going to get the clarity. And ultimately, I don't know that it's going to happen this week because they're holding back emotionally as well. But ultimately, they're going to realize that you are the choice. You are the choice for them. So, it's going to cause a tower moment for it to happen, though. So, wow. Bottom of the deck is the Nine of Swords in the reverse. That's underlying energy. And that's the energy of coming out of anxiety, coming out of sleepless nights, coming out of that waiting energy. So I do see there being communication, but it's going to be more intellectual, as it were, for various reasons on each side. All right, let me pull an oracle card. pulling for the sign of Leo. Leo. All right, Leo, the card is number 33. It says, grow together. Find those who inspire you to bloom. It's about community, connection, and reciprocity. All right, so let me read that for you. Give me a second. All right, so your affirmation is, I am worthy of people who nourish me. The card of loving connection, flowers from the garden, the sweetest touch. Pulling this card is a call to seek connection at this time. A friend, a family member, a community, a lover, someone with whom you share mutual respect. The more authentically you show up, the deeper the connection will be. We have so much to learn from one another when we can truly see each other, especially when we feel we are alone. Reach out. This card calls you to reevaluate the people in your realm. If you feel energized by someone, offer that back when possible. Let them know that you're grateful for them. If you consistently feel drained or energetically abused by someone, stop making excuses for them. Honestly ask yourself why you allow anybody to mistreat or take advantage of you. Why would you allow a disease in your flower bed? It is a place meant for beauty, growth, and peace. Protect it. Take good care of it. You are worthy. This could be a good omen that a nourishing individual may come or has already come into your life. Let them in. An era of beautiful human connection is upon you. Remember this, you are worthy of people who nourish you. Attract them through appreciation and expectation. Since ancient civilization, humans have known the importance of community. Without the bonds that hold us together and the roles we have, we couldn't survive. The elders share their wisdom. The shamans channel spirit. The artists help us see. The hunters and gatherers feed us. The warriors protect us. And the doers move us forward. Now we have our own personal communities, old friends, new friends, family, lovers, in which we control who gets to occupy space, both physical and energetic, in our own little world. Are they reciprocating? Do you feel you are met with the same level of care and support you so generously offer others? Could you offer more to those deserving of it? You are being called to assess this. All right, and I feel like you're doing that. So, for those of you who are, good job. All right, I hope this has been helpful for you, Leo. If you have resonated with this reading, please hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hype the video if you get the opportunity. And until I see you in your next reading, Leo, know that you are loved, and namaste.